Hey, what's up, VC? I'm back with another video. This is a big edition of Rock Hall, as Greg the Egg Blackmore Rules would call it. Went to Austin, took a trip to Austin last week, and stopped at Waterloo Records, which I've been to before, and they always have really cool stuff. Found a bunch of cool stuff. Stopped at my favorite half-price bookstore, which is in Austin, right down the road from Waterloo. I always find amazing stuff there. This is a huge store. Stopped at a Goodwill that I'd had luck at before, and I'm glad I stopped there. And also, to top it all off, the reason I went to Austin, I finally got to see Dokken live. The whole lineup, not with the original lineup, but John Levin on guitar, Chris McCarville on bass, of course Mick Brown and Don Dokken. So as far as they sounded, sounded great. John is a fantastic guitar player, plays the Lynch stuff note for note, which is a very good thing. He can pull it off. Chris was a fantastic bass player, and of course Mick Brown's a hell of a drummer. And Don Dokken, his voice sounded amazing. I thought, his voice hasn't been the best in the last 10, 15 years, but it sounds good for what it is. For his age, I think he sounds amazing. They definitely pulled off the songs live. I've seen George Lynch with Lynch Mob 3 times now. I saw Don Dokken do an acoustic show last November, but I'd never seen the whole lineup of Dokken, the new Dokken, but you get what I'm saying. I'd never seen Dokken as a whole, but finally got to. It was a dream come true. After the show, got to meet everybody but Don. He wasn't feeling good, so he kind of took off, but everybody else was cool. Met Chris, met John Levin, and also met Mick Brown, which I was really excited about because I got some stuff signed, which I'm going to show here. So this is going to be a long edition of Rock Hall. This is kind of like a Dokken update at first, and then I'll get into the other stuff. So I'll put a thing down below where you can skip past this if you want to and just get into the other stuff. But anyway, start off with some CDs. Oh, and I also got a cool piece of memorabilia. This one I had already had signed by George, and Don Dokken got signed by Mick. Japan Live 95, Dysfunctional, signed that. Mick was really cool, signed everything I took. Shadow Life, already signed by George. And then the new Dokken release, Reunion Tour, Return to the East, he signed that. So that was cool. Also got this signed. Black Star Vinyl. Rob just sent me this about a week ago, actually. It came in perfect timing. It's this Lightning Strikes Again Dokken promo poster, already signed by Don Dokken and John Levin, and I added Mick Brown to it. So if I can somehow catch Barry Sparks, I'll get him to sign that and have the whole lineup there. So that was really cool. Thanks once again for that, Rob. Got this signed, which was really cool. I've been working on this for a while. All this stuff I've gotten signed myself by the guys, and I've been working on it piece by piece. The only person I need to meet now is Jeff Pilson, get him to finish off some of the stuff. But I have this World Tour program from 1986 from the Under Lock and Key Tour. I already had it signed by George and Don. I didn't just get it signed on the cover because that was just, that would have looked cool, but decided to do this. Don made it out to me, which was really cool. It says Keep Rockin' Forever, which is really cool. George signed it, of course, his claw signature. And then Mick signed it really nice right there. So if I can get Jeff to sign that, that'd be really cool. So that's one of my little, pride and joy pieces of my collection because I've gotten that signed myself. Then on to albums. Took Broken Bones, had John sign it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. He used a silver Sharpie and signed it really big, so it didn't really, it looks good in person, but you can see it's all across there. And then Mick signed it up there. So yeah, very happy to add that to the collection. This I had already signed by George, and Mick signed it. Back for the Attack, or Beast from the East. And then the Dream Warriors single, already had George and Don on it. Had Mick sign it right there, so that's really cool. And then Back for the Attack, also Mick signed it right there. So have George and Don. So that's that for that. And then the last thing, most bands have customized guitar picks or whatever, and that was true with John Levin. He had his signature, John Levin Dokken picks, and he threw out a bunch of those, and Chris threw out some bass picks. But I noticed that Don, he actually plays guitar if you've seen Dokken live, and he's really good at it. But he had just a basic, gray pick, and after he used it every time, he'd go set it back on his amp. And after the show, I actually asked one of the guys on stage. I saw it sitting over there, and I asked him if I could have it. Sure enough, he gave it to me. So I got Don's pick that he used during the show. Here, I'll take it out of this. I just have it in this little card thing. But yeah, and you can tell it's been used. And I saw Don put it over there, so I know he used it. So I got Don's pick, which was really cool. So yeah, I can say that I'm the only person at that show that got one of Don's pick. You know, everybody else can say they got John's or Chris's, but I got Don's, and that's all that matters to me, because like I said, he is my favorite singer. And seeing him live as Dokken, the whole lineup was just fantastic. So yeah, that's that. We're past all the Dokken stuffs for all you people that didn't want to see all that. So we'll get on to the other stuff that I found, the Rock Hall part. Found some really cool stuff, in my opinion. We'll just start with CDs, I guess. Most of these I actually found at Goodwill for $1 a piece, which was surprising. Van Halen 5150. Already had a copy of this, but bought this one because it is a French copy. As you can see there, it says France. And then AC/DC High Voltage. This is a European UK copy. Whitesnake Come and Get It. Also a UK copy. I guess somebody just donated their whole collection. UK copy of Pyromania by Def Leppard. The Best of Cozy Powell. This is really cool because it has Jeff Beck on it, and of course Gary Moore, which is why I picked it up. And a bunch of other people. Mel Galley, John Lord. Who else does it have? Bernie Marsden, Jack Bruce, Don Airy. So that's really cool. Don't have any of Cozy's solo stuff on any other format, so that was cool to find. Then found Thin Lizzy Live Life. Great double CD set. Also a UK pressing of that. Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith. Couldn't say that for some reason. This is a UK copy, which I think is cooler because on the regular US remasters of these, just basic, but as you can see, there's like a foil logo there, so it like shines, and then on the back, so that looks really cool. So that was cool to find. Black Sabbath Heaven and Hell. Didn't have this on any format, so that was cool to add to the collection. Rainbow Straight Between the Eyes. It's just a regular US copy, but I love this album. Joe Lynn Turner on vocals. Rainbow Long Live Rock and Roll. Great album with Dio. Rainbow Live on Stage. Great early live album with Dio. Rainbow Rising. And then the next two CDs I actually found at Waterloo. They were like $6 a piece, but I was willing to pay that. Actually, this one was $5.99. Queensryche's The Warning. Didn't have this on any format. It's a great album, so figured I'd pick it up on CD. I've been getting a lot more CDs recently just because they're more affordable usually. And this one was $7.99, which is about the limit I'd pay for CDs, but it's one I'd been looking for a while. Leslie West, Blues to Die For. Just a great blues album. Like I said, Leslie West, one of my favorite guitar players. Just anything he plays is killer. And this is, just a bunch of blues cover songs. Boom Boom, Don't Start Me Talking, Born Under a Bad Sign, I Got the Blues, Why I Sing the Blues. And the lineup on here was cool. It has Ainsley Dunbar on drums, who played with Journey, and a bunch of other people. And I also noticed this was on, is it Metal Blade? No, Shrapnel Records. That's what it was, because it's produced by Mike Varney, who was the producer and somewhat guitar player, I think, for Shrapnel. He played on some stuff, so that was cool to find. Definitely happy to add that to my collection. Leslie West CDs or albums aren't that easy to come by. So, and then on to the vinyl. Got a bunch of vinyl here. These first couple were from Goodwill. David Allan Coe, Son of the South. It's a cool album because it has, I'm not going to show the vinyl, but it has Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Jesse Coulter on here. Dickie Betts plays on one of these songs. Just a bunch of cool people. Just a really cool album. And then another Goodwill find, which I was surprised to find. Loretta Lynn's Songs from My Heart on Decca. And this one is still in the original shrink. So that's really cool. That was cool to find for $1. And then we have The Police, Ghost in the Machine. And then on to Half Price Books. This one, the single was just 49 cents or 50 cents because it was in just, I guess they didn't know what it was. Robin Trower, Secret Doors, from his album Passion, which is one of my favorite albums by him, with Davey Pattison, who sang for Gamma, on vocals. And it's just the same thing on both sides, white label, promo. So that was cool to find, especially for 50 cents. I would have definitely paid more for that. But they just had it in the discount bin because, you know, usually the singles they just throw in there, so I'm not worried about them. And I found this one. This was kind of a blind buy. It is Verity, Interrupted Journey. I was looking at it, and they look like some, you know, early 80s, just hard rock, metal type stuff, and that's what it is. It's not bad. I also noticed that it has Rod Argent on here and Russ Ballard, who of course wrote the song Since You've Been Gone that Rainbow made famous, and All Night Long, I believe, maybe. He wrote a couple old songs that Rainbow did. There's actually a gold stamp promo, so this was like $3, so definitely worth it. Not bad at all. Just some early 80s metal, hard rock metal. And this one was kind of a blind buy as well. I'd heard of them, but wasn't familiar with them. It is How To, I believe, High Gear on Shrapnel, same as the Leslie West. This album's actually interesting. I was thinking it was... I can't think today. I was thinking it was going to be Steve Howe from Asia, but no, it's Greg Howe, Al Howe, with some other people, and it's just some, you know, 80s metal stuff. Who else was on here? Jason Becker played on here, and Mike Varney. See, he played one of the solos on here, and so did Jason Becker, so I was right about the guitar thing. Mike Varney played a little bit, and Jason Becker, he's, you know, fantastic guitar player. It's a shame what happened to him. Here's one that I was surprised to see, especially for like $3. This one I actually knew because Scott Waters has talked about them before. It is the band More, the album Warhead. The cover's a little damaged, got like some stuff where the cover was ripped off by a price sticker or whatever. This one was $2.99, which wasn't bad. Would have usually left something like that with that kind of damage, but this was a UK, I believe, yeah, UK pressing on Atlantic, and the vinyl is mint, so figured I wasn't going to leave it there. I'm glad I didn't, because this album was fantastic. Definitely worth it. We have Roger Glover, The Mask, or just called Mask. Been looking for this for a while. One of his solo albums he did. It's pretty good. You know, it's got Chuck Berge on it, David Rosenthal, who played keyboards for Rainbow. Pretty sure Jan Hammer is on here. His name's Yo, or never mind, just forget I said that. I can't speak today. But anyway, it's a pretty good album. Got a custom inner sleeve with lyrics. Chuck Berge on drums. I'm trying to think who he's... Did he play with Rainbow? I know David Rosenthal played keyboards. Anyway, this is a great album, and it was like $3, so I wasn't going to leave that. Then we got a little Hank Jr., an album I didn't have, Wild Streak. This was actually in the dollar bin, which I was shocked to find. There's nothing wrong with it. The original inner sleeve, it's in near mint condition, just a little dusty, but very happy to add that to the collection. Then here is an interesting piece that I found. They actually had a deal where it was the day I went, it was half off your highest price item, so this was like $8, so I got it for $4. Billy Hurst just recently showed this and talked about it, so I know he's gonna like this. It is Hank Williams Jr., The Early Years. This is a 2-album set of just some of his early stuff, and this copy is actually still sealed with the original hype sticker, so I'm not sure if I'm going to open this or leave it sealed. Probably end up opening it because I will listen to it. There's some interesting stuff on here, just some of his early hits, but to find that sealed with the hype sticker for $4, I'm sure some of the country guys in the VC are going to be a little jealous with that, but definitely happy to add that to my collection, my Hank Jr. collection. Here was another interesting find. Duff McKagan's Loaded Sick. Not familiar with this. I know he's from Guns N' Roses. This was one of his solo albums, I guess. It was like $4.99, so wasn't going to pass it up. Haven't listened to it yet. Did bust it open to see what color it was, because I know there was a regular black version, I believe, and a purple version. And this one is on the purple vinyl. Looks more of a dark red to me, but I guess they consider that purple. But 2-album set, just going to show the first one for time's sake. Haven't even listened to it yet, don't know what it is. Probably some hard rock type stuff, because I've listened to a couple of his other albums and that's what it is. And I actually enjoyed it, so I'm sure I'll enjoy this as well. So to find that for a couple bucks, wasn't going to leave it. Even if I don't like it, I can always resell it, I'm sure, because it's still going for 12, 15 bucks on Discogs, so make a little money there. Then here at Waterloo, this is what I found there. Widowmaker, Too Late to Cry. And the thing I like about Waterloo is they have all this, stuff you usually don't see other places, but it's real cheap, like $2-3 a piece. The most I paid was $11.99 for a new sealed album, so that kind of gives you an idea. But anyway, Widowmaker, Too Late to Cry. And if you're familiar with this is the band that Bob Daisley was in before he joined Ozzy. So there he is right there. So that's just some good late 70s, I believe. Yeah, because Blizzard of Oz came out, 77. Blizzard of Oz came out in 81, I think. 80, 81. But anyway, some good late 70s hard rock. Sorry I'm rambling, but then this one was a cool find. I'd actually seen this before online, and it's kind of sentimental to me and to my dad, which is why I bought it. It's Pawnee Bone and the Squeeze Tones. My, look at this. White label promo. Has a little sticker here, promo copy, not for sale. I'm sure nobody in the VC will know what this is. If you do, I will be very shocked. Maybe Brian will know who this is, because he is from Austin, or Houston, Austin area. That's where he grew up. But yeah, this is, Zydeco type Cajun music from Austin, based out of Austin. But anyway, my dad, growing up, he had a really good friend named John Scott, and his wife was actually this guy's daughter. So my dad grew up around this guy, so he knew him, and actually he recently passed away, so that's a shame, but was definitely happy to find that. That's something you'd probably only find in Austin, because like I said, nobody will know what this is. But yeah, was very happy to find this, and it's actually a really good album. I'll see if there's any of it on YouTube, and if not, I might put this on YouTube, record it, and put it on there, because it's really good. Here's something that Greg the Egg Blackmore Rules actually showed recently, and I talked about. He showed a couple of the albums by this band, and I was saying, I love their music, but didn't have any of their albums, and he was saying they were kind of hard to find. Well, I found these for $2.99 a piece, and they are Canadian pressings. Max Webster, Muting Up My Sleeve, on the Anthem label from Canada. If you're not familiar with this is the band that Kim Mitchell was in before he went solo. So yeah, just great 70s Canadian hard rock. That's how I describe it. So I was very happy to find that album. And I also found another one, High Class and Borrowed Shoes, also on the Anthem label. So yeah, those were really cool to find. So now I have some of their albums, Greg, so I know he'll enjoy that. And this was a blind buy. Not really, because I know who this is, but I'd never heard this album. It's Alvin Lee, Detroit Diesel. Alvin Lee from the band 10 Years After. He is a great guitarist. I have one of his other solo albums, and he's just fantastic. This was like in the discount bin. This was $1. But this album has all sorts of cool people on it. Who was it? George Harrison's on one of the songs. John Lord from Deep Purple's on one of the songs. There were some other people. Not sure. There's just a bunch of people on here, but yeah, this is just a great blues rock. If you like that, he's just a fantastic blues rock, type player. And this was a total blind buy, but it was like $2.99, so I wasn't gonna leave it. FN Guns Nightmare, and this looked like some '80s metal, and that's exactly what it is. Let's see, UK pressing on the Mausoleum label. Trying to see where they're based out of. Belgium, so some German metal. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. But it's just, your 80s, early 80s heavy metal stuff. It's not bad at all. And I'm glad I picked it up. It looked like it was metal, so. And vinyl is near mint, so that was a cool find. Very happy with that. This just trip, I found so much cool stuff. Like I was so happy with this haul. And last but not least, I found this album. This was the one I paid $11.99 for. Pat Travers' most recent released album, Retro Rocket, was released in 2015. I'd looked at this before, but it's like $20 online still. Just, Pat Travers, he never puts out a bad album. This is great. This is another example of, he can still rock. I saw him early this year, and he was killer live. But yeah, that was on sale for $12. Couldn't believe it. I guess because it's just been sitting there for a while. And then last but not least, we got a little t-shirt action. I know Greg saves that till the end. Found these at Goodwill. They were $2 a piece, so couldn't pass up on them. The first one is Guns N' Roses Tour 1988. Appetite for Destruction Tour. Of course, this is a remade shirt, but the back was just killer to me. I'm not a big fan of skulls or anything, but that's typical with Guns N' Roses. But the back, it says Appetite for Destruction Tour 1988. It says, where you are, you're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. Axl's lyrics from the song. So the back just looked cool. And then this second one I couldn't believe I found. It's Ted Nugent. His, tour? Great White Buffalo Tour 2012. That's just a great looking shirt with the tour dates on the back. And for $2, I couldn't believe it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace out. Take care. God bless.